I'm Ben. I am 27 now. I was 26 when I joined about a year ago, and I live in Cleveland area right now. And when I joined about a year ago, I was about 65, 70 pounds heavier. Didn't really have much of a little bit of an exercise routine, not a ton. Did a little elliptical every day. Um, my meal choices could have been much better. Um, didn't know how to lift very well. So, and then after I've joined, um, I feel as though I've gotten much better with lifting, gotten better as to like how to I've gotten better when it comes to like picking out the proper foods with the right protein levels. Um, Gotten better with managing a tight, hard schedule because I work overnights in news, and it was my New Year's resolution last year in the back of my head to start lifting weights more and to lose a little weight in the process, but I honestly didn't really think it would come this far. I thought it was going to be one of those resolutions that 2 or 3 weeks later just stopped. And clearly that has not happened. Um, so
So
I feel like a lot more to do, but I've come a long way in the past year.
it's January right now. I know you joined last January. What was your body weight when you joined a year ago, and where is it now?
So my body weight last January was about 285. Now it is just hovering just under 220,
Wow, yes,
close to
65
as
pounds
of
weight
earlier this.
loss in a year.
Yeah, in a year. Um, I
What
feel
ma-
like a little more muscle, um, and just much better routines, in my opinion.
okay, so what made you reach out for help? What made you say, "Hey, I
Um,
actually need to do something about this"?
it was partially because I found the Elevated Impact account, and I knew who you like. I know we went to school together, and you reached out to me. Um, One of the couple reasons. One, I wanted to lift weights, and I thought, well, this is probably going to give. I think this would be a good start. And also, I realized, I had lost weight once before, right before the pandemic, and then the pandemic happened, and the world, and then a lot of other stuff happened, and I just fell off. And I realized that was one of the things, like everything I felt got back to normal except that. So I wanted to try and get my weight back down again. And that was like one of the big reasons I decided to seek out help, because I thought if I started lifting more and doing other things, it would probably result in me losing more weight.
Were you surprised your weight got so high? Was there like a wake up moment where you're like, "Wow, this is getting really up there," or did you not even notice it?
Um, I would say it's a little bit of both. I noticed it, but it wasn't really until about a year ago that I realized, what have I done? I guess when it started to really get back to where it was in the 270s and 280s, I knew it was going up, and I had tried at times to get it back down, but nothing really worked long term. And then I think I always knew that it was too high, but then it wasn't really until I talked with you guys last year that I realized, what have I done to my body in the past 3 or 4 years.
So you feel like
That's
speaking
when I
with
felt
us,
that was the wake up moment.
it was the actual process of like talking to somebody about it and really thinking about it.
I think so. Talking to somebody about it, thinking about where I was before, how I felt like I was in the best shape of my life, and where I was now. I just thinking about it, I was like, oh my God.
Were you afraid when you signed up? I mean, I know it's a big investment. Were you afraid it wasn't going to work? Were you afraid you were going to waste your money, that you were going to fail? Like what was going through your head?
Yeah, I was afraid it wasn't gonna work. And in a way, sometimes I'm still afraid for the future of, like, what'll where I'll be in a year from now. I was more afraid back then because, yeah, what if it doesn't work? What if I've invested I've invested in this, but I don't get the results I want? Like, I lose weight, but it's not as much as I want to lose. Or I fall off the habits. That hasn't happened yet. Hopefully it won't, but it was something I was afraid of a year ago.
So that's interesting. You feel like thinking a year into the future, you still kind of are thinking like, "Oh, I've come so far, but will it keep going?" Is that kind of how you feel?
More like, will hopefully I'll be able to maintain it in a year. Yeah. Will it, where I'll be in a year? Will I, how I'm going to maintain it in a year? I think that was one of the problems last time is like, I didn't think much of a plan to to maintain it. And now it's like, now I gotta, soon I'll have to start thinking, how do I maintain this?
Has the weight loss been like consistent? Have you had any times where the weight went back up or any like fall offs, or do you feel like so far it's been pretty smooth?
Overall, I would say consistent, but in sometimes a frustrating way because sometimes I put goals out as to how much weight I want to lose. So my schedule, I work in TV news and I work Wednesday through Sundays overnights at 2 a.m. and which means my sleep schedule is all over the place.
Yeah.
So that has not helped with losing weight, but I've tried to figure out ways to like still keep my body active. Like whether it's walking, maybe it's an extra workout, maybe it's eating a little less. And then on my days off, that's when I really try. That's when I have found that's when my weight starts to like get flat and starts like really leveling out and going down. Um, so there have been times where I set out goals as to how low I want to get it a certain week, and and a lot of times it works. Um, for instance, back in December, I had COVID for a week. That combined with the holidays, my weight pretty much I did not really lose much weight. So there have been some frustrating moments.
Mhm.
Overall, it's been good, but there have been a lot of frustrating moments for me. But that's how I learn. I mean, it's like trial and error with me.
Yeah. And you just committed to a second year, right?
Yes,
Why? What made you want to commit to a second year here?
because I want to keep going. I know there's a lot more to do. I'm proud of how far I've come, but I feel like I'm not there yet. And I feel like while I have learned a lot, I feel like committing to another year will help me learn a lot more and help me be more accountable to myself.
Definitely. What's been the biggest benefit of the program for you? Like, what's been helping you the most? Is it the community, the accountability, the check-ins? Like, what helps you the most here?
I would say it's a few things. The check-ins, and the accountability like from my coach, like when he looks over my stuff and he tells me what I could be doing, what I do right. And also just having a coach in my pocket 24/7, like being able to ask questions about especially foods or workouts or anything like that. um, and also in a way just the app, because I feel like one of the routines I've gotten into obviously is putting my weight in every day, weighing myself when I wake up and putting it in every day. And just this is like sort of something, it's more of like a proud accomplishment is when I've seen the graph in the past year and I stretch it out to a year and
Mhm.
just see that line, that big line go down, down, down. That's been a really proud moment for me.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's going to keep continuing, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like the support is lacking here? If you could rate the support 1 to 10, like, how do you feel?
I would say I would give it a 9. I would say the support is pretty good. I admit personally that I don't participate as much in the like overall group member chats as much as I probably could. Um, Mainly because I'm busy and I'm not always on the app. But I would say overall the support is very very good.
Okay.
I get a pretty timely response from my coach most of the time.
That's how it should be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of the people, like even some of the people watching this, they've worked with other coaches and they don't get that level of support. And and that's something we pride ourselves on, like the accountability, the support here to make sure that all your needs are met. What's been the biggest benefit you've noticed of losing the 65 pounds? Like on a daily basis, is it like is it how do you feel compared to before? What's changed?
I feel much better compared to a year ago. I mean, obviously, I know I still have a little bit of fat on me. I look at it every day, but one of the things, there's a lot that's changed. Obviously, I fit in smaller clothes. I wore, I think, about a 2X before I started on this program, and now I'm like barely in the like I think I'm just about out of the XL category,
Wow.
just about. So that's been a big difference. I also think my confidence overall in myself has gone up. I remember just like bashing myself a lot for how I looked and things like that. And I think that just with with me losing weight with the schedule I'm on and me getting stronger, I feel like I've just learned in the past year to just like not doubt myself as much and to just like be an advocate for myself. And especially when it comes to like, trying to date, it's like slowly starting to work out in my favor.
That's great.
So I would say those are like the main things I've noticed.
Yeah, no, I'm so glad to hear that, honestly.
Yeah.
I would like, what would you say to somebody who's watching this who's kind of on the fence about joining, about taking action compared to just, hey, maybe I'll like put it off a little bit longer. Hey, maybe I don't have the time. Maybe it's not worth the money. Like, what would you say to somebody watching it who's on the fence about whether they should join a program like this?
Yeah, so I would say if you have the resources, really consider doing it. I went through the same thought process about a year ago. This seems like too much money. I don't know if this is going to work with my schedule. And it took a lot of trial and error for me to like really get things up and running. But if you want to lose weight, I would say this is a very good program. Yes, it might be a little pricey, but you have a coach in your pocket 24/7. You can you can do your workouts sort of like anytime you want as long as you do them. That's one of the things I've liked about the program is the flexibility. I
Yeah.
can go out of town and as someone who has a Planet Fitness membership, I can still do workouts at another Planet Fitness. I don't have to like it's not like I'm in an in-person gym class that I have to take off. Like I can still keep track of workouts. So I would say if you really want to lose weight and you have the resources, that's a very good investment
All right.
for
I'm glad to
your
hear
well.
that. Yeah, you probably wouldn't have renewed if it was if you didn't feel it was worth it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is there anything else you want to add to somebody watching this about the program or about your experience or anything?
I would say if you want to do it, put as much effort into it as you can because if you don't, because at first I didn't know how much effort I was going to put in. And if you don't put in a lot of effort, this probably isn't going to be worth it for you. That's what I would say.
And one bonus question here. You said you did lose the weight before on your own, right?
Yes.
What made you not want to do it again? Do the same thing you did before on your own?
Are you
Like
are you asking?
what made you, what was the point where you said to yourself, hey, I actually want to get the help versus doing it on my own again? Because a lot of the people that I speak with, they tell themselves, hey, I lost the weight before. Yeah, I gained it back, but I can do it again. What would you say to somebody like that?
So when I lost the weight the first time, it was a different. I was kind of in a different mindset. That was more like I was getting a lot of carry out, and I wanted to exercise more, do more like treadmill and elliptical, and not get as much carry out. And over time, with the right food choices, that made me slowly start losing weight. Here, it was the reason I wanted to get help. One of my driving factors in getting help from you guys is because yes, I wanted to lose weight, but I also wanted to learn how to lift weights. I didn't really know as much about lifting weights as much as I did cardio,
Yeah.
and I another way this is all in a way it was also helpful because the last time I lost weight, I felt like I had a like very specific things I would eat for various meals. Not that I don't now, but I feel like I can be a little more like I've learned a lot more as to like lose weight but also have fun with it. Like don't be as strict um, all the time when it comes to what you eat or like find substitutions to things that are usually unhealthy but the substitutions might be better for you. So I think the reason I wanted that was one of my reasons I thought seeking out help was the better option was the food choices and also being able to lift weights and lose weight at the same time.
Okay, yeah. So do it a little, learn how to do it a little bit more flexibly so you could actually keep the weight off this time, and then also build
Yeah.
muscle and learn how to lift.
And also just learn from other people, like for instance, I remember I went back to one of the sessions, like one of the sessions that you guys do on Monday nights, one of the recordings. And this was this was right as I was like right before I got sick. And one of the things I think Austin said was like when he gets sick, he tries to get at least 10,000 steps in a day or something like that. Something that little, like that it that taught me something. Even something that little taught me something. It's like still try to like don't push yourself, but still try to get a little bit of steps in
Yeah.
because I would feel push myself even if I was sick.
Yeah, I love that.
Like healthier habits is what also pushed me to get help. Why I thought
Definitely.
this would be beneficial for me.
And I'm excited to see your progress over your second year here. So that's going to be crazy, man. Maybe we'll have to do another interview later.
Maybe in a year. Hopefully in a year I'll be smaller, maybe have more of a neck, and you can do another interview. And hopefully I'll be down to where I want to be.
I love that. All right, Ben, it was great speaking with you.